Before we get into the meeting, a quick note. The Mountainair Dispatch has covered Torrance County government in text since 2022. This video is an experiment to see whether a video recap like this is worth doing regularly alongside the written coverage. You may also notice the voice you are hearing is computer-generated rather than a live host reading, even though it is based on my voice. I have limited jaw mobility from an injury I sustained in the military, so text-to-speech lets me produce this content without it taking hours of retakes. I wanted to be upfront about why I am using computer-generated voices. If this format is useful to you, the best way to tell me is to subscribe to the Mountainair Dispatch on YouTube. If you prefer I use different voices, or if you prefer this content in a podcast format, or if you have any other suggestions, please leave them in the comments. And because video editing software is not free, and the Dispatch runs on a very small budget, if you are able to chip in toward the cost of producing these, a donate link is in the description. Every dollar goes directly back into local coverage of Torrance County. Torrance County Commissioners extend the burn ban through summer, agree to help finance a multi-million-dollar electric grid upgrade, open the door to fixing decades of neglected private roads, and check in on Estancia's water woes. I am Todd Bragowski with the Mountainair Dispatch, and here's what happened at the July 8, 2026 Torrance County Commission meeting. First, fire restrictions. County fire officials asked commissioners to extend the burn ban another 60 days, pointing to single-digit relative humidity in the afternoons. The original ban had a built-in break around the 4th of July, so residents could celebrate safely. Commissioners voted unanimously to approve Resolution number 2026-11, extending the outdoor fire restriction through the rest of summer. That means open burning stays restricted county-wide during one of the driest stretches of the year. Residents can check current fire restriction status through the New Mexico Energy, Minerals, and Natural Resources Department's Forestry Division. Link is in the description. County to serve as fiscal agent for Central New Mexico Electric Cooperative Grid Upgrade. Next, to deal with Central New Mexico Electric Cooperative. CEO Adam Roybal asked commissioners to have the county serve as fiscal agent for a state grid modernization grant the cooperative plans to pursue. State rules require the money to flow through a government entity, not the co-op itself, and Torrance County is the largest jurisdiction in CNMEC's service area. Roybal said the project would replace the cooperative's aging automated meter reading system with newer radio frequency smart meters, giving members near real-time usage data and giving the co-op faster outage visibility. He estimated the system-wide project, covering the co-op's entire territory, would cost $7.5 million. The state grant pool for this round totals $5 million, split among applicants statewide. CNMEC plans to apply in stages and expects to submit by the state's August 15, 2026 deadline. Commissioner Schwabach initially requested a 10% administrative fee from the grant money for the county's role, then settled for less. Commissioners approved a motion setting the fee at 2.5% of grant funds administered. The county's grants department and county manager Stephanie Reynolds will coordinate with CNMEC going forward. Roybal also updated commissioners on CNMEC's separate fiber-to-the-home build-out. Contractors are currently running drops to homes in Mountainair and Estancia, and in-home installations should begin within about 2 weeks. Roybal asked commissioners to encourage residents to cooperate with contractors, saying the cooperative has run into some hesitancy in Estancia. Residents inside the cooperative's federally funded project areas can get connected now, at no cost for the drop itself. Those who decline and want service later will pay for the connection out of pocket. Service is expected to reach McIntosh and Moriarty, along with mountain communities, including Manzano, within the next several months, though those areas fall outside the current grant-funded footprint. Advertised speeds run up to 1 gigabit, with a current promotion offering 250 megabits per second for the price of the co-op's 100 megabit package. If you missed an installation appointment, call the cooperative's main office directly. Now, one of the biggest discussions of the day. Commissioner McCall opened debate on amending the county's road ordinance to let the county adopt certain private roads into its maintained inventory. This addresses a decades-long problem for rural residents who have never had access to county road maintenance despite paying property taxes. Under McCall's proposed criteria, a road segment could qualify for county adoption if 4 or more residences sit within 1/10 of a mile of one another. Based on early mapping work, McCall believes the threshold would add about 2 miles of road to the county's inventory. Commissioner Jaramillo thanked McCall for pursuing the change, telling commissioners that unresolved road complaints are the most common concern she hears from constituents. Road Superintendent Lujan emphasized that adopting a road would not mean an immediate rebuild to full county specifications, which include minimum width and a 35-mile-per-hour design standard. Instead, the county would begin routine maintenance, such as grading, ditching, and shaping the roadbed, with gravel and further improvement to follow as the budget allows. Schwabach and McCall both stressed the change is meant to correct problems tied to existing, decades-old residents and subdivisions, not to reward future development. Schwabach said new subdivisions are already required to build roads to county specifications before acceptance, so he does not expect the new criteria to create a loophole. No formal vote was taken Wednesday. County Manager Reynolds said the county cannot begin the ordinance's required 30-day public notice period until commissioners formally approve a draft. A draft ordinance is expected to come back for a vote at the Commission's next meeting on July 22, 2026, before at least one public hearing is scheduled. Commissioners asked Lujan to prepare per-mile cost estimates for routine maintenance to inform the eventual budget discussion. Separately, commissioners approved amending a letter of intent tied to an existing road capital improvement project after the state offered additional funds. The project's funding increases from $288,908 to $584,031.24, an increase of about $295,123. Lujan told commissioners the increase was unusual and, in his experience, typically happens when another county cannot meet its own matching fund requirement, so the state redirects that unused allocation elsewhere. The change also increases Torrance County's required local match from about $78,211 under the original contract to roughly $111,000 under the amended one, an increase tied to the state's roughly 25% match requirement applying to the higher total. Commissioners did not identify a funding source for the additional match Wednesday, beyond noting it will be built into the county's budget process. On water, County Manager Reynolds told commissioners the town of Estancia's hydrogeological study shows the site selected for a new well can sustain the community's water needs for approximately 150 years. A test drill is scheduled for next month, and the town has already lined up requests for proposals so it can move directly into full well drilling once the test is complete. Estancia's main well is currently sustaining the town's needs, and its backup well, which had been in use, has been shut off to refill. The town is not under a formal water use mandate, but continues to ask residents to conserve. The county has also arranged contingency water hauling for the Torrance County Fair, lining up a local water hauler as a vendor in case demand from the fair and the start of the school year strains the system further. Commissioner Schwabach, who also serves on the board of the Estancia, Moriarty, Willard, and Torrance Regional Water Association, known as EMWT, told commissioners the volunteer-run board needs a paid administrator to manage its growing workload. That includes its planned takeover of the troubled Melody Ranch water system near Edgewood and a separate project in McIntosh. Schwabach said the New Mexico Public Regulation Commission approved EMWT's conditional takeover of the Melody Ranch system, and that roughly $4 million from the State Water Trust Board is available for a pipeline connecting Moriarty to Melody Ranch, pending the City of Moriarty's approval to allow the hookup. He told commissioners that state officials describe unusually broad backing for EMWT's regional approach from the governor's office, the legislature, the Water Trust Board, and the New Mexico Department of Health, given ongoing struggles among dozens of small private water utilities statewide. Schwabach floated the idea of the county setting aside money for a 2 or 3 year contract to hire an executive director for EMWT. No formal proposal or budget figure was presented Wednesday. Commissioners agreed to keep developing a scope of work with the EMWT board. Commissioner Jaramillo, who also attends EMWT board meetings, asked whether a standing notice of possible quorum should be filed, since 2 or more commissioners sometimes attend those meetings. County Attorney Michael Garcia advised that a standard notice covering all such meetings would be appropriate. The Board of County Commissioners' next regular meeting is Wednesday, July 22, 2026, at the Torrance County Administrative Building, 205 South 9th Street, Estancia. For the full story, with links and additional detail, visit mountainairdispatch.com. I am Todd Bergowski. Thanks for watching.